Evening. How are we doing? We are online. So, it's getting the final little bits and pieces in order. Looking forward to tonight. So, last week was a long one. Longest one yet. But, right, I'm just going to leave the first comment in the chat box. Okay. And let us know where you're watching from. Right, we're live. 111. Yep, looks good. Oh, let's just select my. Need to select the stream and make sure my stats and signal levels and everything. There we go. Oh, why have we got such bad internet? Oh well. We'll soon see. Should be okay. 1% dropped frames. Fingers crossed that doesn't last. Anyway, hi everyone, it's 7 p.m. Thursday evening. So you're live with the Jam Station. My name's Aaron. I'm a musician, a songwriter and a guitar teacher. And for the next hour or so, I'm running a guitar lesson on the modes and arpeggios. Specifically 7th chord arpeggios, okay? Also known as 4-note arpeggios because they contain a root, a third, a fifth, and a 7th. 4 notes. Okay, if this is your first time, then welcome, and if you've been here before, then welcome back. Feel free to drop a comment at any time. I've just left a comment in the box. Hello, we've got one. Sup? Hello, mate. How you doing? Where are you watching from? So I have to look down here when I see the comments. So, yeah, how you doing? It's good to have a comment straight away. That tells YouTube that we are active. So, yeah, tell me where you're watching from. Tell me what you're working on with your guitar playing at the moment. And definitely leave a comment if you have any questions about what we're doing, you know, about the subjects of tonight's lesson, and stay to the end because we're also going to finish with some ear training, a bit of interval recognition, and a few other bits to improve your oral skills. Iggy, hello, mate. Of course. What does guitarist mean? I've put your record on the wall, by the way, as a little, in case you did log in. So I'm glad you're here. Is your guitar ready? Are you tuned up and ready to go? That beautiful guitar of yours that I wanted to bring home with me. So, right, so if you're watching this on the live stream, after the live stream, on playback, because obviously once this video is finished, it goes on the live tab of our YouTube channel. Then I'll have already added chapters into the description, so you can move backward and forward, navigate through the video at your own speed. Obviously, you can hit pause at any time if you need to practice something slowly, okay, or repeat a section. If you are on the live stream with me now, like Iggy is, you're the legend, dude. Then obviously you can't hit pause, but you can drop me a comment at any time and I will repeat something if you want me to, or demonstrate something slowly, go into a bit more depth, okay? But either way, live stream or playback, don't forget to tap the like button and don't forget to subscribe, okay, for more lessons like this. So Thursday is modes time. Let's just turn that down. We're exploring different ways of approaching the modes to develop your technique and improvisation, absorbing some music theory along the way, okay? 2 weeks ago, we broke our modes down into triads, so 3-note chords, okay? This is Dorian, played in triads. That was very cool, and last week we built upon these triads to create 4-note arpeggios, or 7th chords, major 7s, okay? Dominant 7s, minor 7s, and minor 7 flat 5 chords, also known as half diminished. Tonight we're going to take those same shapes that we picked through last week and join them together into 7 technical picking studies, one for each mode. Now before I outline the 4 types of 7th chord that I just played there, let's buzz through our lesson objectives, okay? So this feels like a real lesson, so that you know what to expect and take away from tonight. There are 4 objectives tonight. Number 1, picking technique. Arpeggios, they challenge your technique in a different way to scales and pentatonics. Pentatonics, 2 notes per string, while with arpeggios, we're often moving across one note at a time. So your plectrum needs to be agile, and your fingers need to sync up to that in a very different way. Okay, so it's a great workout for your left and right hand coordination. Number 2, we're going to go even deeper on the modes. This last few months, we've played our modes in different time signatures, in thirds. We've sequenced them. We've alternated scales with chord tones, triads, and tonight, arpeggios. But aside from the technique, modes give us a range of exotic sounds that we cannot get from a blues scale, okay? So we're adding a touch of sophistication to your playing and songwriting. You're welcome. Number 3, triplets, okay? So last week we played mainly in 16th notes. Obviously with a 4-note arpeggio, it makes sense, 1 meander, 2 meander, etc. Okay, tonight's triplets, so we're counting 3 notes per beat. This is something a bit different. And number 4, music theory. Now I say this every single week and I will say it until I die. Music theory is your friend and it will make you a better musician. Trust me, a better songwriter, a better improviser, and generally a faster rate of improvement with your musical journey, because it's the glue that holds everything together. It will make sense of what you're learning. It's then up to you whether you choose to use it or not when you're in a practical situation, okay? If you're at a blues jam, a Sunday afternoon down the local pub, you probably won't use a lot of music theory, but then there'll be other occasions where you'll really need it and appreciate it. Right, so we're going to memorize the 4 types of 7th chord tonight and put them to use and talk about the different intervals that change when we move from mode to mode. This is all useful stuff. The tab. So if you haven't already done so, download, print, if you even go old school and have a printer in your house, print the tab for tonight's lesson. They're both linked below in the description, though I am going to quickly show you how to find it for those who need it. So if I go to Firefox, okay, that's the Jam Station YouTube, a little bit of promo there, and then library is a Patreon library, okay? $2 a month gets you full access to this, but all the live stream stuff is free, okay? There's like hundreds of stuff on there now. The top one is tonight's live stream tablet, okay? Live stream 19, pick an exercise. And there's also harmonizing the major scale 7th chord arpeggios. You would also get good use of that if you decide to print that off or download it, okay, and have it on the screen next to you. So that's the tab, but you can just click the links and go straight there. Yeah, and if you do want to subscribe and access all of that, as well as our like monthly hangouts and stuff, challenges, then it's $2 a month. Go get it. So the lesson. It's a lot of talking, sorry. Let's lay the foundation down. Let's look at the 4 types of 7th chord so we can warm up with a little bit of picking, okay? If you're watching this after the live stream and you already know about triads and 7th chords, or perhaps you watched last week, then obviously use the chapters, skip through to the parts that are pertinent to you. But I do recommend you watch this anyway. It's really useful. So the starting point for our 4 types of 7th chords are the 3 types of triad. So I'm going to give you some tab on screen. Now at the top there, you can see we've got, these are in C by the way, A shape. We see we've got our 3 types of triad that we're going to use tonight. Major, which is root, 3rd, 5th. Then we've got flat and the 3rd. We've got minor, root, flat, 3rd, 5th. Okay, the root and 5th stay the same. Then if we flatten the 5th, we get root, flat, 3rd, flat, 5th. That gives us a diminished triad. Okay, so major, minor, diminished. There's also an augmented triad, but we're not going to use that tonight. So those are like the foundation. Now we then use these to create the chords in a key. So for example, if I scroll down, I'll also be able to show you how you can play. I'm not going to go into this in a great deal of detail tonight, but you can actually play your key in triads. Look, there it is. Okay, so major, minor, minor. These are just triads. Major, major, minor, diminished, and back to your major chord. Okay, so that is your 1, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 diminished, and back to major. Okay, you should be able to play that in both directions, because it doesn't matter what key you're playing in or what note you're starting from, you're always going to get the same sequence of notes. Okay, let's go back up because we want these 7th chord next. Step ahead of you. So, to create last week's 7th chords, we're adding a 4th note from the scale. We've got 1, 3, 5. We're now adding a 7th, okay, to each triad. And this gives us 4 new combinations to learn, all of which are tabbed on screen there above me. And these are also linked below on Patreon, okay? So we can create 2 7th chords from our major triad. So if we have root, 3rd, 5th, and then add a 7th, we get a major 7 chord. If we take our major triad and add a minor 7th or a flattened 7th, we get a dominant 7th, okay? So major 7, dominant 7. If we then build a triad from our minor triad, so root, flat 3rd, 5th, flat 7, let's just check that the internet's sort of caught up. If you're still watching, Iggy, how's the internet connection for you? Like, is it blurry or... it says I've got a few dropped frames going on. Hopefully it's not too bad. Yeah, root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7, or root, minor 3rd, 5th, minor 7th. That's a minor 7th 4-note chord or arpeggio. And then finally, we can take our diminished triad, root, flat 3rd, flat 5th, and add that flat 7 to that as well. And we get a minor 7, flat 5. Those are our 4 types of arpeggio we're going to use tonight. 10 out of 10. Oh, okay. That's good. Thanks, man. It's nothing like poor internet to unnerve you while you're trying to do this. Nice one. Major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, minor 7, flat 5. Those are our tools for tonight. Right. Cool. We'll be testing you on the ear train with those later, by the way. So we'll be also adding that into your musicianship. Now, good. Those, yeah. Now, just like we played, one thing I didn't touch on last week, which I do want to develop today, just like I just played to you our key in triads, and that's a really nice exercise to be able to do. We can also harmonize and play our key in 7th chords. Now, this is also tabbed out in 2 different ways. Let me just scroll down to that. OBS is brilliant, but I have to keep coming out of it to move stuff so that you guys can see it. And that is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but obviously I'm a total ninja, an OBS ninja now. So the top one says closed root position. Now this means that we've got our triad, root, 3rd, 5th, and then we're adding the 7th on top. Okay, so you can hear, this is useful because you're hearing the notes in an order. But if you try and play those, you'll soon see that they're actually quite... Although they do sound nice, this is E minor 7, they're actually quite fiddly, which renders them not that practical. Like this one in particular, dominant 7, root as a root, 3rd, 5th, and a flat 7, back to minor 7. So although I'd sort of recommend learning these from a theory point of view, the chords underneath, which are marked A shapes, are much more practical. Okay, so if you listen to these now, major 7, minor 7, minor 7, 4 chord is major 7, 5 chord is dominant 7, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5, and back to our 1 chord C. Those ones marked underneath, A shapes, are much more functional, much more practical. If you're going to prioritize learning some new shapes tonight, make it those, not the sort of closed root positions. But they are great to learn as well because you get to hear. I mean, that is beautiful. It's just not easy to change to at speed. Right. So there's a little bit of theory and a little bit of chord vocab. That's basically the background for tonight. So we've sped through that in 15 minutes, which is very cool because from this point on, we're now going to be doing a lot of picking, improving your technique, and you will need the lesson tab, all 4 pages of it linked below. Let me start by giving you an example of how we can break the mode down into 7 different arpeggios. Okay, starting with the major scale. I'm just going to switch the tab over for you. In fact, I'll show you this first. Everything we play tonight is going to be from an E root, which will be at fret 7 on the A string. Okay, so A shapes. Okay, and everything will fit on top of each other. We're going to superimpose these arpeggios on top of each other. So rather than play major 7, minor 7, minor 7, major 7, up, then look like that, far more functional to be able to do it together. So if we took our 1 chord is going to be a major 7, our 2 chord is going to be a minor 7, our 3 chord is going to be a minor 7, 4 is major, 5 is dominant, it's the same order of chords, 6 is minor, 7 is minor 7 flat 5, and finally back to 1. Okay, so that's just to demonstrate to you the kind of principle of tonight, putting all these on top of each other and then joining them together. Yeah, let me give you the tabs so we can actually start to play through these and develop some technique. So we're going to start with the Ionian, which is another name for your major scale. Okay, that's what you're looking at there in front of you. So I've marked the chords out there: look, E major 7, F sharp minor 7, G sharp minor 7, etc. Joining these together. This is basically the development from last week, is joining these together. Last week we learned them as individual arpeggios. Tonight it's going to create an exercise. Now we're going to do this by counting triplets first of all. So let's take that first arpeggio and warm up the fingers. E major 7 is root, 3rd, 5th, 7, 7 on the A string, 6 and 9 on the D string, and then 8 on the G string. And the triplet is going to be 3 notes up and 3 notes down. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. And that's the triplet groove for tonight. Everything's going to be that. If we take the second one, it's going to be in F sharp minor 7, the 2 chord. So it's 9, 7, 6. Okay, there's our minor triad. Going up to 9 on the G string. It's our flat 7. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. Again, triplets, okay? Really feel that triplet. Right, that was essentially last week. Now we're going to join them together. Now, the way we do that, join one arpeggio to the next into like a seamless flow, is we're going to replace the descending root, if you like. 1, so if I go to the major 7 again, 1 and a 2 and a 1, we replace that with the root note of the next chord, which would be in F sharp. So I'm going to go 1 and a 2 and a, and then land on the F sharp. 1 and a 2 and a, and that's our join point. That's how our brain moves us into the next shape. Okay? There's a few of you online, which is great. Leave us a comment, guys, okay? Certainly be hitting like, but drop us a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm putting a map together, a world map of all the different countries where people are jumping in and saying hello. There's been some really unexpected places, which is really cool, okay? Uzbekistan, India, Germany recently. So I know that Iggy's watching from Bournemouth. So yeah, let me know where you're watching from. I want to colour in as many countries as I can over the next few months. If we go from the next F sharp minor 7, we're going to join that to the root note G sharp of the 3rd arpeggio. Okay, so you're going to go up and down F sharp minor, but rather than go back to F sharp, we're going to go to fret 6 on the D string, and that's the root note of G sharp. Okay, up, down, and good. Right, now I should be able to just join those 3 together. In fact, let's just do the G sharp minor 7 as well. So that's 6 and 9 on the D, and then across 8 on the G, 7 on the B. So this is a different shape for a minor 7. Okay, that's, we're visualizing that over your D-shaped chord there. Okay, counting triplets, 2 and a 1. Right. Let's join those 3 together. So I'm going to go up and back to E major 7, hit the root note of F sharp, up F sharp minor 7, hit the note of G sharp, hit that, and then hit the root note of A. And we may as well do the A major 7 as well, because that will give us the whole line. So our A major 7 is now our 4 chord. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, major 7. So we've got 7 on the D, 6 and 9 on the G, and then we roll onto the B string fret 9. I'm not going to go into loads of detail with rolls because we've spoken about it a lot in the last few weeks. Okay, but essentially you're going to be doing, when you've got two notes that are played on adjacent strings but at the same fret, we don't want to bar it because we don't want those notes bleeding into each other. So we're going to use the tip of the finger on the lower string and then you roll onto the pad of the finger on the higher string. Tip, pad, tip, pad. Now I kind of encourage my students to really exaggerate that movement at first so that it locks in with the pick. So my whole arm is moving. In reality, once you've got that movement secure and the pick is locked in with the finger, then it becomes more of a wrist movement. Okay, but the finger is actually quite solid. Okay, I'm not flexing the finger stays like that. Stays like the finger stays like that and then moves across. Okay, right, so with the A major 7 is going to be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and there you go. So we have, starting from the beginning, E major 7, then hit the root note F sharp minor 7, then hit the root note G sharp minor 7, so we're counting triplets all the way through, and then hit the root note A. So we're just moving through the mode. Each note of the mode is being used to play a 4-note arpeggio. Right, now I'm going to remove the little gaps. I'll leave a gap between each one because it allows our brain to sort of process each arpeggio in turn without any hesitation. And then basically that's to stop any bottlenecks. I speak about bottlenecks quite often. We don't want arpeggios backing up and you having to sort of stop and hesitate. So we put the little pauses in, even if it's just a momentary hesitation, and then we remove those. Hello. It's failing me. In. Okay, and obviously if I try to teach that like that straight away, there may have been a few mistakes while we actually take each one as an individual cell and then join them together. Right, so that's the first line. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a G sharp and a A. Let's look at the second line now, which starts from our 5 chord, B7, okay? It's an E-shaped chord. Yukino, hello mate, how you doing? I wondered if you drop in. I was talking about Uzbekistan earlier, so it must be late there again, like midnight? Hopefully you're here with your guitar this week and you're able to play it, practice a little bit. But thanks for dropping by, dude. I really appreciate it. Right, so our B7. Okay. Root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7. Now we've actually had to change position here because you see I've reached up to fret 10 before the little finger was at fret 9. So we've shifted the hand up. Oh, good. You've got your guitar. What guitar are you playing? So we've got root, 3rd, 5th, stretch the little finger up to 10. Okay, now the triplet count is 1 and a 2 and then rather than play the root note again, we're going to pull the index finger, back to fret 8, which is the root note of our minor 7th arpeggio. Okay, so we've got that roll again, 6, 9 tip, 9 pad, 7, and we reverse that roll, pad, tip. Okay, we'll see you reading a really interesting manga currently, so I might lose some sleep. Okay, mate. Well, thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate it. It's lovely to hear from you each week. So, but yeah, you should get some sleep if it's midnight. So 6, 9, up, back. Now again, instead of going to the 6, we're going to go to the next note in the scale, which is this fret 8. And here, with the middle finger, we're going to play a minor 7 arpeggio, which is root, minor 3rd, diminished 5th, flat 7. Everything's been flattened. Now when I find little cells and little loops that use all 4 fingers, I do tend to spend more time on them because we're getting a nice overall workout for the hand. Okay. Mute it. And then we finish with E, back to the original root note. Okay, so if we join those 3 together with gaps first of all, up and down B7, Index finger goes back, up and down C sharp minor, and then middle finger comes across, up and down D sharp minor 7 flat 5, finish on a root note. Now without the gaps, so that's going to be 1 and a 2 and a back, up, fret 9. One more time, B7, C sharp minor, so that's 6 chord, D sharp minor 7 flat 5 is our 7 chord, finish on E. Right, that's the full exercise, okay? That may have felt like I spent quite a while on that bit, and that's actually normal because it's the first one. I want to make sure you're able to join these together confidently, and then with all the subsequent modes that we start to move through, you'll find you'll get faster and faster each time. By the time we get to the final couple of modes, which will be Phrygian and Locrian, you'll probably really have it down. You'll just be making the adjustment for the new fingering. So let's try and put all that together. We effectively got 2 supercells there. The first cell being the top line, G sharp, A major, and then the second supercell will be B7, C sharp minor, D sharp minor 7, flat 5, E. Let's try and join those together, okay? See if we can put that through. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a G sharp. We'll ignore that. B7, I made the jump up. C sharp, D sharp minor 7 flat 5, E. Okay? Right. Now, making sure, there we go. That's Ionian. That's our major scale. Okay? We can do these to a nice drone. So I'm gonna go to Logic. And this is my parallel modes project, and I'm going to solo the guitar, and I'm going to solo this drone. You should be able to hear that. Now, if I play this over the drone, you will really get a sense of E major, okay? Because we're keeping that E root note all the way through. Perhaps once you've got a few down, you can start to loop a couple of pairs, try and create a few little sort of simple licks with them. It's not about going fast while you're getting new shapes like these under your hand. Okay? And just start to find some use from them. Right. Hopefully while that drone's playing, you're also using it to play along with it. Right, let's go back to OBS. There I am. So let's go to the second mode, okay? If you're happy with that, the major scale, we're going to go to Lydian. Let me change the tab for you. So Lydian is the top mode in the tab, so you'll need to scroll up. There we go, parallel modes, up. There you go. So you're looking at what I'm looking at. I love Lydian. Okay, now Lydian has only got 1 note difference from the major scale. Our major scale is root 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th octave. Lydian has a sharpened 4th, so root 2nd, 3rd, sharp 4, and then everything else is the same, okay? 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7 octave. So we're going to build our mode from that. Because there's only 1 note difference, that means some of our arpeggios, the arpeggios that don't feature that note, the sharp 4 within it, will stay the same. So our 1 chord is root 3rd, 5th, 7th, no sharp 4, so therefore that arpeggio is the same. But the second one, you'll notice has changed. It's now no longer F sharp minor 7 as we had before, it's now F sharp 7. So we've got root 3rd, that's our sharp 4, 5, flat 7. So that's a new shape. So just loop that for a second, get it under the fingers. Loads of repetition tonight, okay? We want these shapes to fall under the fingers naturally as your E shape minor pentatonic does. And then we're going to go through the same process to join them together. So I'm going to go up, and then rather than land on an E, go to the root note of F sharp 7. G sharp minor 7 is the same. Okay, but then the next one does feature the sharp 4 again. We have 8, 6, 9 with the roll. Okay. So get that one under the fingers. From the 8, this is a minor 7 flat 5 chord. Root, flat 3rd, diminished 5th, flat 7. Okay, I'm rolling with the little finger there again. So let's just join these together with gaps. So I'm going to go up and down E major 7, and then up and down F sharp 7, up and down G sharp minor 7, and then up and down A sharp minor 7 flat 5. And then we can join those up without the gaps. It's really hot here. Drop us a comment, guys. I can see there's a few of you online, which is brilliant. Just love to know where people are watching from. Plus, obviously, I love to hear from you guys. But the more comments and interaction is, the more YouTube pings this out to more people. So, but yeah, right. So let's join that together, okay? So I just did it with gaps. I'm now going to remove those gaps, so we're going to have a steady 1 and 2 and into the second arpeggio, G sharp, A sharp minor 7 flat 5. Okay, let's do it one more time together. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 9, 6, G sharp. Now let's work at the second line. Okay. Again, we've got a B, but whereas we had a B7 in this position over Ionian, this B is now in the key of E Lydian. It's a major 7 chord, okay? There's your shape. Okay, this is one of the more technical ones we play because you've got a different note on every string. Now, the more rock players amongst you may want to play this with a kind of up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. Kind of sweeping it almost. Well, I guess you are. Okay, I tend to alternate pick it because all the other arpeggios are being alternate picked, and it just keeps the same dynamic and groove. Okay, so I'll be alternate picking that, but if you do want to up, down, 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 that's also absolutely fine. Do what you're comfortable with. So up, down, and again, rather than hit the root note, we're going to go to the root note of C sharp. This arpeggio is the same. Keep the same one. Okay, and then D sharp minor 7. Okay, root minor 3rd, 5th, flat 7. Give it a little loop. That's a new shape for us tonight. Right, let's join those together. Okay, so we're going to go in B major 7, into the C sharp minor, into the D sharp minor, and then finally finishing on E. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and back to 6, 1 and 2 and back to 8, 1 and 2 and then finally 9. Right, here we go. Without gaps. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and back. Hello. 1 and 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and to the 9. Right, cool. So again, we've done the whole exercise. We just need to string it all together. Now, one thing that's interesting about this Lydian and makes it a bit more enjoyable to play as a technical exercise is that there are no position shifts. So whereas when we did the major scale or Ionian mode, we had to jump up to stretch our finger to the little finger up to 10. We don't have to do that here. The whole thing, look. It's all in position. The fingers don't move. Okay, so that makes it a good one for technical development. Let's start, okay, put gaps in first of all, and then I'm going to remove them. So 3 and a E and a 1 and a 2 and a root, G sharp, A sharp half diminished, B major, C sharp minor 7, D sharp minor 7, and then E. Right, cool. Let's join those together without the gap. Ready? 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a G sharp, A sharp, B major, C sharp minor 7, D sharp minor 7, E. Cool. Right, let's put the drone on because Lydian is a beautiful sounding scale, and if you've not used it before, a drone like this will really help your ear absorb it. Okay, so we'll go to Logic. I've just realised it may be more helpful for you to have the tab on screen, but let me give you that. So you should hopefully hear that. Logic. There's the tab. So let's just run a couple of these. That doesn't sound like Lydian yet. That can still be the major scale, but then when we get to sharp 4, suddenly we're in Lydian territory. Into the minor 7 flat 5. This will also sound very Lydian-esque because we're actually starting with that sharp 4. Okay, it's a really beautiful sound. E major 7. Hello. Into the C sharp minor 7. Again, that's got a very nice Lydian sound to it. And another thing you can do to explore some of these modes that are quite new is to sort of obviously identify where your chord tones are. So root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and then start on sort of non-chord tones, if you like, and resolve them. So if we want to resolve to our root from, say, the 2nd. So you can hear there's a little bit of tension there. Land on the root. Let's go from the 2nd up to our 3rd. You can just hear the resolution. There's a really sweet tension there from the 2nd up to the 3rd. Sharp 4, undoubted tension. Resolve it to the 3rd. I need to tune it for you guys. Sharp 4 up to the 5th resolution, okay? The 6th kind of sounds nice. And then the 7th, resolved up to the root, okay? The 6th is kind of happy, okay? You may not hear many major 6 chords in a lot of pop music, but if you listen to jazz, your ear very quickly gets accustomed to that sound. That's it. Right. Logic, voila. Right, 2 down. Okay, 2 modes down. Next one is going to be Mixolydian. I just need to change the tab. Where are you guys watching from? Tab. Let me scroll down for you. So obviously we're going to skip Ionian because we actually started with a lesson with that. We move down to Mixolydian. Right, Mixolydian, for those of you who played a bit of jazz or a bit of blues will probably be familiar with it. Whether you'll have broken it down into arpeggios like this is another thing. So obviously the Lydian mode had a sharp 4, okay, root 2nd, 3rd, sharp 4, 5th. Then the major scale, we flattened that sharp 4 to a perfect 4th, root 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. To go to the Mixolydian mode, which we're going to use now, we flatten the 7th. So root 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Okay, so everything's the same. Flat 7, and then octave. So it's kind of like a major scale, but it's a little bit darker. We certainly feel like we're in the major scale at first, but then we lose it there. So So any note that touches our 7th is going to produce a different arpeggio. Excuse me, which includes the first one. So you can see our first arpeggio now, our 1 chord, if you like, is an E7. Okay, so our arpeggio is now root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7. Get it under the fingers. Again, I'm alternate picking that. No problem with doing all downs if you want to sort the left hand out first. And I'm sure you won't have too many problems with that. You don't need to do it at the same speed I'm playing it either. Like if that feels a bit fast, and if this is a new shape, then take your time with it. Equally, if you feel like what I'm playing is too slow, feel free to like blitz it, double pick it, triple pick it. Okay, but that shape wants to feel natural. Right, so our 1 chord is E7, our 2 chord is F sharp minor 7. That's the same as what we had for Ionian. So we're going to go up, and then root note of the 2nd chord. Now we've got a new one, look, G sharp minor 7, flat 5. So root, flat 3rd, middle finger, roll. Let's just loop that a few times, okay, because that's a new one. Again, with the roll, you want to sort of exaggerate it at first. So I'm right on the tip, right on the pad. And then once you've got that movement down, it becomes a little bit more of a wrist movement rather than the whole arm. But you see that if you watch my elbow, it does actually move. And then we've got A major 7, which we also had in Aeolian. That one's not new. Roll with the little finger, okay? Let's join those 4 arpeggios together and give ourselves a nice little loop. So E7, F sharp minor 7, G sharp minor 7 flat 5, with the roll, and middle finger A major 7 with the little finger roll. Now let's remove the gaps, okay? So we're going to get a steady stream of notes. Here we go, 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and roll, and then again, roll. One more time, 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Good, takes us on to the 2nd line. Stop me at any point if you have any questions, guys, okay? You can see there's a few of you online. Any questions about the theory point of it? Any questions about the technique? Okay, any questions about modes in general? It's a really mysterious subject for a lot of guitarists until you get your head around it. So honestly, stop me at any point. I love to have the chat, and there's a good chance that someone else who's watching also has a similar question in their mind anyway. So I'm sure no one will mind you jumping in with a question or just telling us where you're watching from. I'm interested to know. Right. If we go to the 2nd line, we now have a B minor 7. Okay, so we had E7, F sharp minor 7, G sharp minor 7, 5, A major 7, and now B minor 7. Okay, so we have root, flat 3rd, 5th, flat 7. Got to roll with the index finger now. So tip, pad, little finger comes across. What I've taught modes for a while, but yeah, I've taught rolls quite a lot over the years, but doing these last 19 weeks of live streams on the modes has given me so much cause to practice rolls. It's really helped with my my own technique. Lines like that coming into even your pentatonic licks can be spiced up with some good rolls. Right, so yeah, roll with the index finger. Then we're going to we're actually going to slide that finger back a fret. Okay, there's no easier way of fingering that, so slide back. We've played that C sharp minor 7 twice already tonight, okay, so no need to go deep on that. And then slide that index finger forward back again for the D, tip, pad. Oh. There we go, nice little loop for that D major 7. Which is the 4 chord in the parent key. Okay, so that last bar is going to be D, up and down, finish on E. Right, let's try that second line, okay? So we're going to join them together with gaps first of all. So 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a slide back, 1 and a 2 and a slide forward, 1 and a 2 and then finish on E, okay? And now without the gaps, okay? So we've learnt them as individual cells. They flow through our consciousness or our short-term memory, and now hopefully if we remove the gaps, they still just flow through. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a back, up, 9. Once more, 3, 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a back, up. Okay, cool. Let's join the two lines together, okay? With gaps first of all between each arpeggio. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2. Up to F sharp minor, 2 and G sharp minor 7 flat 5, 1 and 2, the roll, A major 7, roll with a little finger, B minor, so a jump up, 1 and 2 and jump back, these little 1 fret slides back up, 1 and 2 and now let's try that. We'll remove the gaps and play it straight through. Here we go. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 9, 6, 8, B minor, back to C sharp, back up to D, and E. There we go. Right, that's your full one. Let's just give a quick blast on Logic so we can hear Mixolydian in action. So I'm hitting play and actually need to be on Logic myself as well. So there's our dominant arpeggio. There's our 6 chords, so 5 chord, 6, 7. Mixolydian, I think, obviously it's associated with the blues. It's used over a lot of dominant chords for good reason. It has a dominant arpeggio as its kind of root chord, but it also has a really Celtic vibe about it, okay? That, still Mixolydian, and it's got such a lovely sort of Irish wistful, doesn't sound at all bluesy, does it? Tension on the second, resolve it onto the third. So if we put some of these arpeggios in, let's go back to the tab. Okay, we're just getting an idea for the sound of Mixolydian. B minor, C sharp minor 7, D major. Hello. You get the idea, okay? Playing it through with that drone in the background does give you a sense of how the actual mode sounds. The vibe of it. Stop that. Now that drone I'm playing over is actually on our Bandcamp for free. We've got this really cool album called Free Learning Resources, which does exactly what it says on the tin. So if I go to Bandcamp, you can download that drone for free. Need to open up a tab. The Jam Station Bandcamp. There we go. So there it is, look, second mode. So should I learn to play the guitar? Yes, you should, obviously. And then free learning resources. If I open that, scroll down. Parallel modes, ambient for 2 minutes 40. Bounced it down, okay? And stuck it up. It's absolutely free. The whole album is free, okay? Everything on there, all these parallel modes, backing tracks that I've been using over the different weeks, okay? If you want to throw a few quid in, a couple of dollars, whatever, obviously I'm not going to stop you. But it's 100% free, so take it. Do you know what I mean? And then you can actually try all these modal exercises to that drone, and it just helps place the sound of the mode and the mood of the mode. It's giving it harmonic context. Let's go back to me. I'm much prettier than Bandcamp. So, 3 down. We're moving into the minor modes. We're moving into Dorian. So, let me just scroll up a little bit. So anyone got a favourite mode that they use the most in their playing? For me, it's either Dorian or Lydian, but from a playing point of view. But from a sound point of view, I absolutely love Phrygian. I just have less use for it in my day-to-day playing, but I love the sound of Phrygian. Right, there's the Dorian example. So, if Mixolydian was, remember with this system, we're only changing one note each time. So Mixolydian was root, third, fifth, flat, 7. Mixolydian was root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, flat, 7 octave. Okay, so we got one flattened note in there, the 7th. Dorian is almost the same, but we're also flattening the third, and a flattened third gives us a minor tonality. Okay, so we've now got the same scale, but root, second, flat, third, and then everything's the same. Fourth, fifth, sixth, flat, 7. Okay, so you can hear it's minor, but that sixth gives it a really nice sweet sound as well. So it's like a sweet minor mode. Now for tonight's exercise, you'll see in the tab there are a lot of 11s on the D string. So the 6th, which is this note here, fret 6 on the G string, and we're going to move that down to fret 11 on the D string. So the fingering for our scale is actually 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 11. So you see I'm using my middle finger there. So I'm using the third finger on fret 9 there, and then the middle finger on fret 9 there, which enables me to comfortably reach up to fret 11, and then back to the third finger on fret 9 there. If you've not played that before, or perhaps if you play Dorian like this, there, just get this finger in, this new finger in under the fingers, okay, because that's what you're going to be using in the exercise. Maybe double pick it. There we go. Right, so that's our starting point. Let's see what arpeggios have in it. Now, Dorian is built off the second degree of the major scale. So E Dorian is in the parent key. Do you know what? I'm just going to tune quickly. Because there's something slightly, when I play those octaves, which I'm prone to do a lot. Yeah, it's the weather. It's so unbelievably humid here today. I have to tune your guitar about 3 times. Bear with me. Where are you watching from, guys, while I'm doing this? Drop me a text, tell me where you're watching from. I want to be able to turn another colour on my world map red tonight from having someone who comments. So far we've had England and Uzbekistan. A few Americans last week, didn't I? All southern states though as well. No one from New York or Boston. Right, that's much better. Right, we is back. So, sorry, back to the tab. What we're saying was Dorian is the second mode of the major scale, so E Dorian is in the parent key of D major. Okay, so if you imagine in D major, D is your 1 chord, E minor is your 2 chord, F sharp minor is your 3 chord, G is your 4 chord, A is your 5 chord or A7, etc. But when you're playing in E Dorian, your 2 chord effectively becomes your 1 chord, okay? Because you're now in a modality rather than a tonality. The tonality is D major. Your modality is E Dorian. But actually knowing that you're starting from the 2 chord can be really helpful. This is a sort of theory tip now. So if you know that your E minor here is the 2, and you know that remember, as we discussed at the start of the lesson, your key, the triads on your key go major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. Okay? Well, if you're starting from the 2 in Dorian, so that was my 2nd chord, my modality now goes minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major, and then back to minor. You see, the pull back to the 1 chord is, well, your new 1 chord is not the same, but But it can actually help us with our arpeggios, because if this is my scale, now I know, because this 2 is minor, I'm going to get a minor arpeggio, a minor arpeggio, a major arpeggio, a dominant 7 arpeggio, minor again, minor 7 flat 5, major. Okay, so you're kind of like pushing that major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished across by 1. But it means that when I'm playing through this exercise, I've kind of, because of my theory knowledge and how I'm familiar with the keys, that I'm able to almost know minor. I know I've got a minor here. I'm going to have a major 7 here. I'm going to have a dominant 7 here. I'm going to have a minor 7 here. I'm going to have a minor 7 flat 5. Do you see what I mean? I know what kind of arpeggio to expect. And then my 7 chord is now major. Back to 1. So if you're one of these guitarists who, and I mean this with all respect, but one of these guitarists who sort of like, oh, should I really bother with music theory? Well, I always say to my students, yes, you should, because A, it can be fun, it can be enjoyable. But here is a perfect example of how a little bit of music theory knowledge helped me play through that exercise without even having to look at the tab once. Because I knew what each note in the scale was. Okay, we know what Lydian, Dorian is, we've already established the fingering. Well then, if I know what kind of arpeggio I'm getting from each note, then minor, my 3 chord is minor, my 4 chord, major 7, dominant 7. You get the, I don't need to do it again. But that's music theory that is helping me play through that. Now I'm going to use the tab to show it to you here, but if you didn't want sort of like a nudge to go away and learn some music theory, there's a good example of knowledge of key really helping speed up the learning process on something. Let's jump at the tab. So we have E minor 7 is our 1 chord. So this is the first time we played a minor from here. Okay, so let's just get that finger in underneath your fingers. Root, flat 3rd, 5th, flat 7. 2, remember we're counting triplets tonight. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Now we're going to play minor again. Now the fingering for this one, we're stretching up to 11. So I'm using 3rd finger, index, stretching the little finger up to 11, and therefore using my middle finger on 9 on the G string. So that's going to be fingers 3, 1, 4, 2. Maybe loop that one as well, because that's the first time we come across that tonight. Let me know if you have any questions, guys, either about what I've just said there about key, or about any technical element of this tonight. Or maybe you're allergic to Dorian and you want me to get on with the next mode, I don't know. I do love playing Dorian. Right, so there's 2 new fingerings there. Look, minor 7, and then minor 7 from F sharp minor, and then the last chord on from that string is a G major 7, and again we're moving across 4 separate strings, 1 note per string. This is great if you're a pentatonic blues player or rock player looking to expand some new colours. This would be a great thing to do, okay? Because you don't get to play licks like that or shapes like that with your pentatonic blues licks. So you can either alternate pick it like I'm doing, okay, or you could up, down, down, down. If you're more in the sort of like sweeping that, so the loop would become up, down, 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 up, up. Hello, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. No, up, down, 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 up, down. Ah, up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. There we go. Just stick to alternate picking, shall we? Right, so the 3 on that string, minor, minor with the stretch, and then major 7. Now remember, when we join them together, we basically finish the 1 and a 2 and a, and then into the next root note, 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and a, into the next root note, 1 and a 2 and a, 1 and, so E minor, F sharp minor, G major. Just close good. And then the fourth and final chord in this line is the A7. We've got root, major third, fifth, so a triad, and then with a flat 7. So again, we're using that 11. These are great fingerings, okay, to get under you and try and put into your licks. If you can squeeze these into your blues licks. Who writes their own licks? Does anybody watching this write their own licks? Okay, I love writing guitar solos. Okay, I do a lot of production and songwriting for people. I love writing guitar solos, but actually just writing individual licks is also a really nice challenge. And I think it's a step that every guitarist should go through. Okay, if you want to develop your own voice, you want to create your own licks. It's a brilliant exercise to learn other people's licks. If you're into Clapton, if you're into Gilmour, if you're into Jimmy Page, learn a few licks from each of those guys. If you're into jazz, pick a few influential jazz guitarists. Not to mention, you know, like learn a load of John Coltrane, learn a load of Miles Davis. But don't forsake writing your own licks as well. That is every bit as important a step in your guitar journey if you want to create your own voice and sound like you while you're improvising, as spending time improvising and spending time learning other people's licks. So some of these new shapes would be great for putting into your own. You know, can you write a lick that incorporates a Dorian lick that incorporates that A7 lick? Okay, right, so this is the top line, G major 7, A7. Let's take the gaps out. 3 and a 4 and a E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A7. Let's move on to the second line. We've got B minor 7. Okay. We actually already played that arpeggio once. But then we've got C sharp minor 7 flat 5. This is the first time we played this tonight. I'm using my little finger twice here, look, at 11. There's a dominant arpeggio there, dominant triad. And then the little finger stretching up to 12. Again, spend a little bit of time on that, give it some love if you've not played that kind of shape before. The repetition is really sort of like useful, helpful, necessary even, I'd say. Okay, and then finally D major 7, stretch the little finger back to fret 7. We played that one already a couple of times. Okay, don't forget the roll, tip, pad. Right, so those three arpeggios are B minor 7 with the roll, stretch up to 11, that beautiful minor 7 flat 5, and then index finger, back to D, finish on an E. Right, let's play those three arpeggios without the gaps. 3 and a B minor, 1 and a 2 and a C, 1 and a 2 and a. One more time, 3, 4 and a. Right, should we join the whole thing together? Starting from E. Here we go. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. G major, A7, B minor, C sharp half diminished, D, E. Right, let's get the drone on. Okay, feel free if you've got your sitting. Hopefully you're all sitting there with your guitars. Okay, hopefully you'll have a go at playing to the drone. Get some cans on so you can hear the sort of, because that's a really lovely stereo sound. There are the arpeggios. Okay, so let's just play through it in order first of all. That just sounds like E minor. That could be E Aeolian at this point. And now we get our sixth. Now it sounds like Dorian. G major 7. Okay, so it's starting from the minor third. A7. Ooh, that's beautiful. It's 5 chord, okay, so you're adding a bit of tension in there. Then B minor 7. C sharp minor 7 flat 5. a lot more it's a lot more of an exotic sound than the sort of major scale that we did first of all. And then let's create a couple of licks, okay? Create some tension, second, up to the minor third, second down to the root. Right, sounds nice. Let's move on to the next mode though. So logic, stop. Right, the next one is going to be Aeolian, also known as the natural minor scale. For those of you who in England and did your grade system when you were young, I don't know how many people who watch these sorts of videos did their grades when they were younger. And if people who are watching in Australia or the States or Asia, or anywhere in Europe really, do you have like a graded music system like we have here in the UK? A chance for mainly children, but some adults, to sort of learn stuff in a really logical order and get a certificate at the end of it. Do you have a similar system? I lived in France for 9 years and they don't have that at all, but they do have a strong emphasis on music theory, like learning music theory before you really touch your instrument in some cases. So, le solfège. Right, let's move on to the next mode. So I'm just going to scroll down for you so that you can see Aeolian. A lot of people, Aeolian is their first ever. Obviously everyone knows their major scale, but then the Aeolian is the natural minor scale. Okay, let me just scroll that down a fraction more. There we go. So the natural minor scale, you almost certainly will have played and perhaps not even realised that it's a mode. Here it is. So in Dorian we had a major sixth, remember? Root, second, flat third, fourth, fifth, sixth, flat seven. We're now going to flatten our sixth. So to go from Dorian to Aeolian, we flatten the sixth, root, second, flat third, fourth, fifth, flat six. It's a very dark sound. Flat seven. Okay, so we don't need to practice the life out of that because I'm sure a lot of you will have played it, but let's explore. So this is now the E minor is the sixth chord, okay? So E minor is the relative minor in G major. So all of these, G major is actually our tonal center. So we've got 6 chord, 7 chord, 1 chord. You can hear the weight there. 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, back to 6. Okay, so again, right, if we know that our 6th chord is the minor 7, we then know that we're expecting a minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. We're expecting a major off the 1, a minor off the 2, a minor off the 3, a major chord or a major 7 arpeggio off the 4, and a dominant off the 5. So let's play these. Right, so E minor 7 is exactly the same as what we did in Dorian. Then the F sharp minor 7 flat 5 is different. That's our flat 6let. So let's just loop that. That's a new one. 9, 7, 10, 9. Or any new shape you want to sort of loop a little bit. Let's join those together. So E minor 7, 1 and a 2 and then into the 9, which is our root note, 1 and a 2 and then the G major 7 here is exactly the same shape as we had earlier, okay, for D major. So we can join those three together, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and then this A minor 7 we actually had earlier. Okay, nice finger in that because it uses all 4 fingers. It's a good workout. Especially if you've got that major triad in there. Let's join those 4 chords together, and we've got our first supercell. So E minor 7, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, G major 7, A minor 7. Now without the gaps, 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2. Hello. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 4 and a... Okay, it's actually weird. I have to look at the tab to give you guys the fret numbers and everything and talk through it. But when I practice this at home to learn it before, make sure I'm really fluid with it before I teach it, I don't use the tab because I know the scale. So I'm just practicing the technical element. And often it's actually easier for me to just play it when I find I'm looking at the tab. It's actually more of a distraction. But anyway, on to the second line. B minor 7. We've had already. C major 7. Okay, nice shape. We've had it already. Oh, we had B major. We had B major 7. We've now got C major 7. Same shape though, okay? 1 finger per string. And then D7, we haven't played this yet, okay? So start with a roll, tip, pad, up to the 10, and now we're going to use our middle finger to play the flat 7 at 8. Root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7. Maybe just loop that a couple of times because it's new. Okay. Any new shapes like that, it's good to get them under the fingers. Let's join the bottom line up. So B minor 7 into the C major 7 into D7 and then into our E. Now without the gaps, 3 and a 4 and a B minor, C major, D7, E. One more time together, 3 and a 4 and a B minor, C major, D7, E. Right, let's join the whole thing together, okay? So we're in the key of D major, okay? No, we're not. G major. Right, here we go. 3, I'll put a gap in between each one first of all. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a, so that's E, F sharp minor, G major, A minor 7, into the 3 is B minor 7, into the C is the 4 chord, into D, the 5 chord, and back into a 6 chord. Right, now without any gaps. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a G, A minor, B minor, C major, D7, E. Right, this one's going to sound really sad when we do it to logic, okay? Just nearly, what are we on logic? Just nearly dropped my keyboard. Right, so I'll leave the arpeggios up. Don't do that. The 2. That minor 7 flat 5 really dark. Beautiful, okay? Is over that in the context of E minor, that C major arpeggio doesn't sound at all major, okay? Very tense, resolve it to the B. Right, cool. 2 to go. Let's do Phrygian. Cool. Oh, see what I did there when I nearly dropped my keyboard. I opened up a load of windows that I didn't need. That one either. Right. Phrygian, our penultimate mode. So we'll skim through these last 2 because I want to finish with some ear training. But these last 2 are actually really interesting as well. obviously we're changing one note with each new mode, so we're getting further and further away from our starting point of Lydian, so the sound is getting darker and darker, but also for most people more exotic. Okay, the Phrygian mode with its flat 2, so remember we had root, second, flat third, fourth, fifth, flat 6, flat 7 in Aeolian. We're going to flatten that 2 to a flat 2. Now we're starting to, some people find this really weird when you first teach people Phrygian. They find that flat 2 quite hard to stomach. Obviously if you're a metal guitarist you love it because you've been playing it for years. But yeah, hopefully this is introducing some fresh sounds into your playing as well. So the tab, I need to scroll down to Phrygian, or scroll up. Here we go. There you go. So any arpeggio that features our flat 2 is going to give us a new fingering. So the E is the same look. We had the same starting arpeggio with Dorian and with Aeolian, but now because we're going from the flat 2 at 8, we've got a major F major 7 arpeggio there. Jump in with questions at any time, guys. Honestly, ask me anything. It can be related to this lesson, but it can also be related to any element of your guitar playing or music theory. I absolutely love teaching music theory. Okay, it's such a challenge and an enjoyable challenge to sort of win over guitarists and students who want to play, but they're not that interested in the music theory side of things, and like, you know, convincing them that actually it can be a really helpful thing for their playing. So if you've got any questions, if you're not sure, drop in a comment. I'd love to have a conversation with you, or just let me know where you're watching from. Right, so 1 was up and down our minor 7, then F major 7. The 3 was G major 7, but we now want G dominant 7. So I'm going to flatten that 7, root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7. Let's just loop that a little bit. I think that's the first time we've played that there. Okay, it's a very useful arpeggio shape as well. You'll play it a lot. And then the A minor 7 is the same as the previous mode. Now Phrygian is the 3rd chord, or the 3rd mode of the major scale. So E Phrygian is actually in the parent key of C major. Okay, so if this is our 3rd chord, that means we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 again. C major 7 is our parent key, and then back to D minor 7. Alaz. Hello, mate. How are you doing? I'm so frustrated. I'm sorry to hear that. I am at this age where I really don't know where to start learning scales and modes and guitar. I know how to play guitar, and I know 7th chords. How can I start this? So how much of this lesson did you see, mate? Have you sort of just jumped in online, or have you been in from the start? I'm guessing from what you're saying that you've probably not been in from the start. What you're saying is a really, really common thing though, dude. My best friend is a perfect example of someone who is getting really quite good on the guitar, technically, but he's struggling to motivate himself to, you know, go into too much detail on the scales and the theory. I came here, YouTube recommended me. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, YouTube. I mean, the best thing you could do without wanting to sort of sell myself, obviously I'll be happy to help you, but find a teacher and have a few lessons with someone who really knows the subject matter, can explain it to you, but also motivate you to sort of understand how good it can be for you. What sort of music do you usually play? Are you sort of into blues and rock, or into something a little bit more out there? But 7th chords is an absolutely great place to start, and I would suggest you look at the cage system. Are you familiar with the cage system? If I was teaching you, we'd spend a couple of lessons on the cage system, and then seeing if we can apply the knowledge that you've already have through teaching yourself and the scales you've already learned, apply that across the neck. Okay, so the cage system would give us, say if you can play A minor pentatonic would be one that everyone knows, but you can actually play that in Aaron. There. 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 Do you see what I mean? Here. You can cover the whole neck with it. And then once you've got that basis of 5 different shapes, C, A, G, E, D, those were the 5 shapes I played there, then you can then start to sort of superimpose, okay, well, we'll do 5 shapes of Dorian, we'll do 5 shapes of Mixolydian. You want to engage with jazz, right, cool. Well, that's what I also really dig as well. I just do fingerstyle, I know the major scale, I play pop, alternative, rock, and so, cool. Well, I would definitely then, especially if you're into jazz, mate, start looking at the cage system. So you're opening the neck out and then start to go deep. So you start to build up layers. Okay, so you'd say, right, just give you a quick example. Here's A major. Well, on top of that, I can play an A major arpeggio. I can then say A major 7. So I've added 1 extra note to that triad. I'm now playing a 7th chord. So I can then play a major 7th triad on top of that, or major 7th arpeggio, sorry. Then I can put in a pentatonic scale, so I'm adding another note. So it's now a 5 note. Okay, you can then add the full scale. I'm sure a lot of these shapes you're already familiar with. So this is now A major. Okay, but then you can start to add in other colours. So that major scale is very easy to turn to Mixolydian. It's very easy to turn to Lydian. Be a really useful scale for your jazz playing. Okay, so you go through the whole system. Oh, Iggy, mate, I'm so pleased to see you're still here. I'm in a similar place. This video has been so illuminating to me, understanding different modes. I am so pleased to hear that, dude, honestly. Really, really pleased. So, yeah, it is such an exciting world to delve into, I think. I mean, I'm mad about all the theory anyway, but it's like I said earlier, it's the glue that holds everything together. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's a sublime tip. You're very welcome. Where are you watching from, mate? I want to be able to put you, yeah, Amanda Pinky, always. Where are you watching from, Alice? Because I want to be able to add your... I'm basically plotting out a world map and where all the comments are coming from. So I get quite excited every time there's a new country. So, well, you could be from the UK. I don't know. But does that answer your question? And if you do want to do a couple of lessons, you know, you don't have to have lessons for years and months and years. Do you know, just a couple to get you on the right path, and then have a lesson. The Philippines. Brilliant. Have we spoke before? I have a feeling. I used to work in the Philippines in 2016. I came and spent a few weeks in the Philippines and loved it. Writing children's music. Absolutely loved it. It was a beautiful country, and I was only sad that I got to only spend a few weeks out there. Especially as I was outside of the main city as well. Which I loved, but you know, God, the rural part of the country is so lovely. So I will be adding the Philippines to my world map at the end of the night. Yeah, good. I'm pleased that's helped. Let's get through these last few arpeggios for Phrygian. Okay, so we did them all, didn't we? So we said that. So this is, alas, this is the cage system in perfect example here, right? Because I'm going to play minor 7 is an A shape, F sharp major. F major, sorry, is also an A shape. G7 is a C shape. A minor 7 is D shape. B minor 7 flat 5 is D shape. C major 7 is the top part of an E shape. And then the D minor 7 here. Okay, I will be playing that as a G shape really. And then back to E again. So all of these different chord shapes are superimposed on top of each other. And if I didn't know the cage system, that would be an awful lot of sort of like abstract things to learn. But because this system fits all these things together like a jigsaw, I'm just literally once I know what my root note is, E, well, I can see the nearest chord is in minor. F, okay, minus a major 9 there, but again, it fits perfectly into the fingers. G, okay, well, that's going to be a C shape. I'm going back this way because I don't want to be moving my hand around too much. If I want to play an exercise like this, I need to be able to keep myself in the same position. To see what I don't have to move the hand anywhere. I hadn't done the second line, had I? Let's do the second line. So the B minor 7 flat 5, we've got 9, 7, 10, and then roll in the little finger. A bit more for your pinky there, Iggy. And then the C major 7, which we had in the last mode. And then D again, we're rolling. Finish on E. So let's join those 3 arpeggios together. B minor 7 flat 5. C major 7. And then D minor 7 with the roll. Tip, pad, pad, tip. And now without the gaps. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a C, D minor, E. 4, one more time. 3 and a 4 and a C major, D, E. Let's put the drone on so we can all have a go at doing this with the E background. This just contextualizes the sound of the mode, okay? Right, here we go. So we're starting with, now this is where it will start to get cool. Obviously, I'm playing over an E drone, I'm playing E minor, that sounds fine. Let's superimpose an F major 7. Now listen how cool and tense that is. Something that what you do right now, stop this dude. Something what you do right now, like going in the same position like in a cage system, does it have something to do with playing it in intervals? Well, each of these arpeggios that I am playing is made up of intervals. Absolutely. And I would 100% recommend learning intervals, because intervals are the absolute building blocks of arpeggios, pentatonics, hexatonic scales, and full scales. Okay, so you know, when we talk about our triads, I say, well, that's a root, a third, and a fifth. Tonight we're doing 7th chords, so we're doing roots, thirds, fifths, and sevenths. When we do major pentatonic, I'm going to say, well, your major pentatonics, your root, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, major 6th. Do you see what I mean? So intervals really helps you to just sort of like create that language, certainly communicate with other musicians, and also, what, you know, I'll give you a perfect example of interval knowledge being really helpful. We went from Aeolian, which is the mode we did before Phrygian, and I said to go from Aeolian to Phrygian, you're just flattening your 2nd. Well, if you know what your flat 2nd is, okay, there, then it's a really simple adjustment for you to then make. Okay, so root, flat 2nd, flat 3rd, and everything else is the same. And when we go to the next mode, which is going to be the final mode, Locrian, we're just going to flatten the 5th. So you'll have root, flat 2, flat 3, perfect 4th, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7. Everything's been flattened. So yeah, I would say dig into intervals. I mean, if I was to teach you this for a few weeks and on this stuff, I would be running those two things together. So we'd be relating everything to the intervals. So we'd be looking at the actual shapes. So this is C major in cage shapes, look. But I'd be relating all of that to, there'd be a scale to relate to each of those chords, and I'll be relating intervals to all of it. You know, where are our thirds, where are our fifths, where are our sevenths, where are the important notes? If we're playing Dorian, where's the 6? You know, I want to pull that 6 out and use it. Yeah, so I hope that answered the question. Let's hit this. So what I was doing there was moving between, obviously E minor 7 works, F major 7 is extremely tense, and then it's in D there. there's E minor, there's F major 7. So maybe you could spend a little bit of time on F major 7 and then resolve it to your root. Let's resolve F major 7 to the G now, which is going to be the third of E minor. Okay, resolves nicely. Let's resolve it to that B, which is the fifth of E minor. So I'm going to play F major 7, resolve to the fifth. Okay, so we're talking tension, release, tension, release. Let's go up to the flat 7. This one will sound a little bit fruitier than the fifth and the root and the third, okay, but I'm going to land on that D. So, F major 7, some beautiful tension, and then land on the flat 7, and onto the root. Third, second. Okay, I love these sorts of games. It can be really enjoyable. I actually say this most weeks, right? Improvising to a drone is really, really good for you as a musician. It's really bad for your ego, and let me explain why. When we improvise, right, we improvise to backing tracks, don't we? We stick backing tracks on, different styles. Sometimes we like to stick a fast one on, okay, and really feel like we're smoking. Sometimes we like to stick a really slow one on because you can sort of almost feel like you're playing at double speed. But backing tracks give us a real false sense of how good we are because we've got the bass line. We've got the... Hello, mate. How you doing? Yeah, you have missed the start, but that's cool. I really hope you do watch the whole thing. Yeah, I'd love that. That will really help us out, and hopefully you're getting something from it. Have you had a good week? What I was saying was, yeah, the backing tracks, they have the bass line, okay? So a bit of groove. They have a drum beat, so we're keeping it in time. We have pianos or guitars or whatever that are creating riffs around our lines, and it can sound with a little bit of practice great. But playing to a drone, you're removing all of that. You're removing the bass line. You're removing the atmosphere created with the bass. You're removing any rhythm from the drums. You're having to use your own sense of melody, and especially if you've got new chord shapes or new modes to play with, it can be really grounding to go, actually, I don't yet make this scale sound good on its own, okay? While when you play to a drone for a little while and practice it, start to find the chords that make up a mode, find the triads, find the different shapes within, then you can suddenly create interest. And what I was doing there by moving between the tension of the F major and then the resolution of the E minor, you're creating your own interest straight away. And that's so much more interesting than just... here's my mode, you know, what am I doing with it? So play with a drone, go and download it for free off our Bandcamp, okay, it won't cost anything, and make that part of your daily practice. Stick a drone on, and hopefully within a month, within even a fortnight, you're starting to feel more confident with it, and like, oh, actually, I don't necessarily need a pumping bass line and a big drum beat to make me enjoy improvisation. And then when you do go back to those backing tracks, you'll feel even more confident and sound even better. Let's go to our last mode. Okay, so the last mode is Locrian. We won't spend ages on it. This is the one that sort of outside of metal people use least, I guess. People do use it in jazz as well, obviously. Right, so Locrian mode is the seventh mode of the major scale. So E Locrian is the 7 chord in F major. You'll see the key signature there has got 1 flat, which is F major. So imagine our 1 is actually our 7 in F. So that's going to be 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 7. So think of it, that's a really, really interesting way of thinking about it. Okay, yes, the Locrian mode has 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7. Everything's been flattened basically from our starting point. But you can also think of it as, well, this is the 7, the 1, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that you already know that, okay, this is a 7 chord. I'm going to be starting with a minor 7. Then my 2 is going to be a major 7. My 3 is going to be... You're starting with a 7, so minor 7, flat 5. Then the 1 is going to be major 7. 2 is going to be minor 7. So I'm not even looking at the tab now. I don't need to look at the tab because I know that if this is a 2 chord, it's going to be minor 7. 3 is going to be minor 7. 4 is going to be major 7. 5 is going to be dominant 7. 6 is going to be minor 7. And back to the 7-1. Okay, so again, a really good idea to get that music theory down. Let's look at the shapes. So minor 7 flat 5 is new. Okay, get it under the fingers. F major 7, we've just done that in Phrygian. And then G minor 7. Let's join these together, shall we? So we've got 1 and a 2 and a onto the root note, 1 and a 2 and a onto the root note of G, 1 and a 2 and we can play this A minor 7 as well because we've already played it a couple of times tonight. From the 7, 1 and a 2 and okay. Now let's remove the gaps between each chord and hopefully they'll all flow through without any bottlenecks. Here we go, 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... Okay, there was a couple of bottlenecks there, so let's run that again. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... Second line, we've got a B flat for the first time. We've not had any B flats, okay, but that's because we've flattened the 5th. Okay, Locrian has a flattened 5th, so we now have a B flat major 7. Get that under the fingers. That's the first time we've encountered it from B flat, although we have played that shape tonight. We played it from a B. Okay, and then C7. Oh, I'm sorry, you've had a bad week. What's happened? Glad to hear you holding up. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. Like Thursdays are a lot of preparation for me in making sure that I'm ready for this live stream. Some of the stuff we're doing is quite technical, so I obviously have to make sure that I'm prepared and I'm able to not just play it, but deliver it in front of a camera and manage all the, you know. But it's fun, and I'm enjoying creating the content. And I've had quite a few songs come through in my day job as a songwriter and a producer, so I've been writing as well alongside that, and then finding time for a bit of jam station every day. But yeah, the UK is really hot. Yeah, I'm literally sweating, and I'm only putting jeans on every day when I have to film something, and then I go straight back to shorts. So there's no drought here really, this part of the country in the east, but in other areas here they are. But some of the fields around here are absolutely scorched. So yeah. Right, so our bottom line is the major 7, then the C dominant 7. We've done that already in B. Now we've got it in C, same shape, okay? So that's root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7. And we're going to finish with D minor. We've already played that tons tonight. Finish with E minor 7, flat 5. Let's join those three together. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a D. One more time. 3, 4, 1 and a 2, C7, D minor 7. D minor 7. Right. So, let's do the whole thing, and then we're going to do some ear training. Okay, we'll finish. I mean, it's quite late tonight. This is the longest I've spent on just the technical part, but we'll do with the ear training anyway because it's important. So, the whole Locrian exercise is our minor 7 flat 5 chord. Here we go. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a F major 7, G minor 7, A minor 7, B minor 7. We'll ignore that, shall we? C7, D minor 7. And let's just try a fraction faster. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a F major 7, G minor 7, A minor 7, B major 7, C major 7, C dominant 7. Right. Very quickly we'll do the drone, okay, just because Locrian does sound the weirdest out of all of them, I guess, certainly the tensest. So make sure you've got the arpeggios in front of you, pick a couple. So that's the C, mate, that's the C dominant 7. You want to resolve that. 7, G minor 7, A minor 7. Let's do the B flat major 7. It's going to sound tense, okay? B flat major over E is very tense. Get used to that. Absorb that sound into your ears. And then finally, resolve. Let's try and resolve in a couple of phrases to our flat 5, shall we? So we're looking at that 6, fret 8 on D string. Okay, so it does sound tense, but if you're going to play Locrian, you'll need to get used to that. Right, let's finish with some ear training, shall we? Stop that drone. As lovely as it is. Right, let's go back to me. So ear training. Now every Monday night I do another live stream and it's just ear training. Okay, we do interval recognition, we do triad recognition, okay, which is majors, minors, diminished and augmented. We also do 7th chord recognition and a few vocal things as well, okay. So we're not going to do a full session of ear training now, but I'm just going to do a couple of bits for you. And if you enjoy it, and it really will be good for your musicianship, then come along on Monday night as well. It'll also be 7 p.m. BST, where we just go deep on the ear training. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on screen the interval cheat sheet so you can hear the intervals. So that will be... this should hopefully switch over straight away. Go on, be good. Boom! Look at that. Which means I can make me a little bit bigger. You lucky things. Hang on. Yeah, there we go, look. Ledge. So we'll start with some interval training. I will play each of these intervals both melodically and harmonically. So for example, we don't have a keyboard on. Oh, that's because I've muted it for this drone. This should come on any second. Bear with me. Okay, we've got a lovely Rhodes there. So back to OBS. So I'm going to play each of these modes once, okay? You'll get all of the diatonic modes once, all of the non-diatonic modes once. Modes, what was that? I've got modes on the brain. Intervals. The non-diatonic intervals, the diatonic intervals, you'll get each of them once, okay? But it will be a randomized order, predetermined, okay? So I'll put this in front of you, in front of me, okay? I'll play each one 3 times. You'll hear it both melodically. So let's take the 5th as an example. The 5th, if you're looking at the tabs, look at the sheet, says Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, or the Star Wars theme. So that is a 5th melodically. Okay, twinkle, twinkle, or bum, bum, da 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 da. And then you will also hear it harmonically, which is the 2 notes together. So there you don't hear the jump, so perhaps the list there will be less useful, but you're listening for the quality of the interval. And by doing them together, melodically and harmonically, okay, you're associating the 2. That's the plan. And then with the Monday night sessions, we do harmonic intervals and melodic intervals separately because we've got that longer time to spend on the subject. Okay, so you want to write down on a piece of paper or on a blank iPad screen or whatever, 1 to 12. And you're going to get 12 intervals, 1 of each. And then at the end, I will give you the answers. If you need me to repeat one, you can jump in and say, but at the end, I will basically say any of those you want to hear again. And then I'll play any again that you want to hear again. So here we go, okay? Melodic and harmonic intervals. I'm going to keep changing the root note. Number 1 is this. Okay, which interval is that? That's melodic, melody, and this is harmonic, harmony. Do that again. Which interval is that? Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2. Which interval is that? That's number 2. Okay, which interval is that? Number 3. That's number 3. Melodically, harmonically. Okay. That's number 3. Number 4. Okay. So write down, this is number 4. If you just joined in. Which interval is that? We're going on to number 5. Which interval is that? There's the harmonic version. That's number 5. This is number 6. Okay. For those of you in the UK, I've got a really cool tune. Or you can see it on screen, the Cadbury's Milk Tray advert. If you're not from the UK, you probably have no idea what that means. But if you are from the UK and you're around my age, you probably know what that is. Oh, I've just given the answer away. Right, well, so from people in the... Yeah, well, I've just given you the answer. So that's number 6. That's the first time I've done that in all these weeks of doing it. I've never given the answer away. What a tool. Number 7. It's number 7. Melodically. Here it is harmonically. I can't believe I just did that. It's number 7. On to number 8. Oh, barely hit that. There we go. Be a good thump. It's number 8. Okay. Melodically, harmonically. This is number 9. Which one's that? It's number 9. So we do full session of this on a Monday night. Number 10. That one always jumps out at me. It was on when I was in music college. Whenever the teacher used to do this one, everyone's pencils would all start scribbling at the same time because it was such a distinctive sound. So there it is, melodically and then harmonically. Number 11. Which interval is that? Okay. That's number 11. Okay, notice those two notes are interacting with each other. There's some... the frequencies are playing with each other. And finally, number 12. That's number 12. This is the final one. Now, if there are any you want to hear again, please let me know in the comments. Okay, just drop a message in with a number and I'll happily play a few again for you. But remember, there is one of each interval. There's no repetition. If you think you've heard one twice, you're wrong. I promise you. It's one of each. So I'll give you a second because I think there's a little bit of a lag between me saying it and you guys hearing it. And then I'll give you the answers. Nothing, no repetition required. Hope that means everyone's got full marks. Okay, the answers. Number 1 was a third, a major third. Okay, I think I played it from here. Okay, I did. Root third, so it's one of the saints. Oh, when. Number 2 was a flat third, which I think I did here. Okay. It doesn't matter where I do it from really, as long as you can hear that. Is flat second. Apologies. Number 2 was a flat second. Number 1 was a third. Okay, number 2 was a flat second. Okay, the notes are obviously very close together frequency-wise. Wherever you play a flat second, you get that kind of, the lower down you are, the more violent it gets. But so number 2 was a flat second. It's quite distinctive. That's the Jaws theme. Number 3 was a 7th. Okay. So you're thinking Superman there. Ba 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 ba. Or Take On Me by Aha. Number 4 was a flattened 5th. Okay. The Simpsons. Or if you're more into Leonard Bernstein, Maria. Number 5 was a 4th. Okay, so Here Comes the Bride. That was a 4th. Number 6 was a flat 7th. I gave the answer of that one away accidentally, talking about the Cadbury's Milk Tray advert. So the answer was on screen. But if you do remember, I don't know if Iggy's still watching, but if you do remember the Cadbury's Milk Tray adverts from the 80s and early 90s, you had this sort of horn section going. Bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, bum. Okay, but the opening jump of that is a flat 7. Bum, bum. Far more universal than this obscure advert on TV in Britain in the 80s would have been The Winner Takes It All by ABBA. The winner takes it all. Okay, the winner. That is your flattened 7th. Yeah, do you remember it? Do you remember the advert? Bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, bum. There was a whole series of them. You can watch them on YouTube. They're quite funny. Some dude in a dude in a black shirt. It would be so like, never get aired on TV now. Some guy entering some woman's room while she's taking a shower and leaving a box of chocolates on her bed. It's awful. But that's the flat 7. Number 7 is a flat 3rd. Okay, so you've got Seven Nation Army or Whole Lot of Love. Okay. But it's the ba-da, ba-da. Okay. Number 8 was a 5th. Twinkle, twinkle. Number 9 was an octave. I did that from an A. Okay. Another perfect interval. Perfect 4th, perfect 5th, and a perfect octave. Okay. The frequency of that higher note is exactly double the lower note. So they just sit together beautifully. 10 was a sixth. We spoke about six earlier with Dorian. Okay, if you're a blues fan, you'll also recognise. Okay, ignoring that last one, which is a flat six, but these major six, major six, major six. Okay, but and now the end is near from Frank Sinatra. The French detest the fact that that song's so famous because it was actually a French song, first of all. Je me lève. Okay. So they claim that, but it was a French song. So that is a sixth. Finally, or nearly finally, 11th was a 11 was a second. Okay. Happy birthday. And again, it's not quite as violent as the flat two, but you do still get a nice sort of resonance between the two. A nice shimmer between those two notes. Okay. That you can use as part of a chord, and it can sound really, really lovely. If I play like a major with a 2 in the bottom, what a lush sound. Okay, so knowledge. I don't know if you're still watching, Alaz, but again, as a songwriter, when I'm looking for particular sounds in particular chords or particular moments or particular emotions that I want to put out there, knowledge of your intervals can be really, really helpful. So you could also put that second here. Okay, lovely. And finally, number 12 was a flat 6, much less common. Okay, for fans of James Blunt, an unlikely candidate for music theory sessions, but I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but you've got there you go. So you're beautiful. But you've got that is a flat 6. Okay. It's the opening riff for You're Beautiful by James Blunt. So again, I don't know if that song was anywhere near as famous outside of the UK as it was in about 2005. Probably it was. But yeah, so you want marks out of 12. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what marks you got out of 12, but record it for yourself, okay? Because you want to see whether you're progressing week by week. And definitely write down any that you got wrong, write down what the correct answer was, so you can start to notice patterns, okay? When I was in music college, I would always confuse, all because Daddy loves arpeggios, right? Exactly. He dived off a boat in one, I remember. So that would never get aired now. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So when I was in music college, I would always get the flat 6 and the flat 7 confused across a number of weeks. But actually identifying that through keeping accurate records of my scores meant I was able to deal with that problem really easily. Okay. Well, had I not kept a record, I may not have realised that my ear wasn't hearing that. Let's finish with just something a bit more advanced but fun. And this is going to involve you singing. Okay, so for a few minutes, we're going to do some, we're going to take a chord, okay, and we're going to sing some notes that are in the middle. So that is a dyad, that is a fifth, root, fifth, okay? Now, we can create chords by singing, for example, the third in the middle of that, or the minor third to create a minor chord. So to do that, it's actually easy to think. First of all, you need to be able to identify the root note, okay? Now, when you hear that, our ears are most naturally drawn to the high note. I would say 90% of students, if I first start doing this exercise with them, they would sing the high note. If I said sing one of those notes, you go, ah. But you want to be able to hear the root note. Once you hear it, it's easy to pick it out. Let's do another one, right? So let's just hit a dyad. Ignore the high note. And sing the low note. What note are you singing? Okay. You're ignoring. You're going down a fifth. we'll do one more, and then we'll start planting a third in the middle of them. What about this one? So you should be hearing two notes. The most obvious one will be the high one, but you want to hear the one actually resolves to the root. So I'm not going to sing the fifth now. Hopefully you're singing the root. If you wanted to sing the fifth, the higher note, twinkle, twinkle, but we want... Right, now you're pitching the root. We can use the information on screen, which is, oh sorry, it's up there for me. The major third is "Oh, when the saints." So, oh, when. And now with this fifth and my voice, or our voices, we're singing a major chord. Let's do another one, okay? Doesn't matter if you're getting it wrong. It doesn't matter one bit if you're getting it wrong, because practice makes perfect, and this kind of exercise is phenomenal for your musicianship. I'm not sure if we've done that one already, but there's your chord. Sing the low note, sing the root note. Okay? So ignore the high note. The high note's we want. And now you've got your root note. Go up a third. Sing "Oh, when the saints." Oh. Sing the third. Oh, when. Okay? Oh, when. And now we've got root. When fifth. We're creating a major chord. Right, we're going to do one more, but then we're going to also drop the third down to the minor third so we can create a minor chord. Right, here's one. A little bit higher. Sing the low note. Oh. So the low note should be. Okay, you should feel that note resolves more and feels more at home than. Is our fifth, but we want. And now we're going to sing "Oh, when the saints" from that note, which is. We sing in a major chord with the keyboard, and now we're going to drop that third down a semitone, which is going to be our green sleeves note, or Seven Nation Army. Back to the major. Let's do another one. But this time, I promise we're nearly done. There's your dyad. Just as an experiment, and you may get it wrong, just try and sing the third straight off. See what happens. Or very quickly pitch the root note and then try and sing the third. Okay? What have you got? Just try it. Doesn't matter if you're wrong. This is a process. Your note should be. I hope. There it is. Now drop it. Semitone, create a minor. So this is an E major. Major, minor. And then just for a little bit of fun, go back up to the major. You're probably thinking, fun? He enjoys this? Dude enjoys this? I love it. Because the music, when you're doing this, the music is part of you. Do you know what I mean? You're literally, you've put the instrument down and you're now feeling it. It's part of your body is resonating it. We're now going to take our major third, rather than dropping it down to the minor third, we're going to put it up to the fourth. So we're going to create a suspended chord. Now this feels beautiful because when we're talking about the second earlier, resonating the root and the second, because the notes are close to each other. The same thing's going to happen here. The fourth and the voice and the fifth of the keyboard are only going to be a tone apart, a second apart. So there'll be a nice resonance between what we're singing and what we're hearing. So the third, that's the fourth, back to the third, down to the minor, major, suspended. could, if you really want it to be cheeky, go up another semitone. Okay, so we're on. You're going up a semitone from the fifth, so you're going to the flat 5 or the sharp 4. And now there's a real fight going on between your voice and the keyboard because there's just a semitone apart. You're always singing, creating that. Okay, so third, go up to the 4, sharp 4, 4, third. Right, good stuff. That's a bit more advanced that, but don't worry. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Right, this has been 2 hours. Didn't plan to do much more than an hour. I've loved every second of it. So if you've got any questions, please ask them. But what I will say is Patreon, for those who have been here for a while, there is our library. It's $2 a month at the minute. It's going to go up in a few weeks to new subscribers. But for $2, you get access to all that. Plus, oh, hello, what's happened there? I didn't even mean to do that. Plus, there's a lot of tabs, videos, and everything. Okay, tab for all our YouTube content. But 170, and that goes up every single week. Okay. Yeah, and I'm here every Monday doing ear training and every Thursday doing modes. So there will be more modes stuff. Learned more in the past 2 hours and having about 5 years. Oh, mate, I cannot tell you how much I love that. Honestly, that, yeah, absolutely thrilled to bits. It makes me sitting here doing this so worthwhile. 100%. And also seeing that I've had 3 times as many views tonight than in any previous live stream. So that's good. We should chat on the phone soon, dude. If you didn't live so far away, I'd come over and see you more often. But I am going down to see my best mate in Portsmouth soon. So, you know, I should pop across really. All right, let's chat soon. Shout out to Iggy for lending me the Van Halen record there, which goes up in the background of quite a few videos. Yeah, Monday nights ear training, Thursday night modes, and there's new content put out pretty much every day. So thanks for subscribing. Don't forget to click like, and I will see you soon. Take care.